I spat blood on the kitchen floor. It dripped between the cracks of the tiles, dark and slow. Dad stood over me, his knuckles red, chest heaving. Mom leaned on the counter, smirking like she was watching her favorite show. "Get up," he barked. I didn't. I just smiled. Slow, deliberate. That smile unsettled them more than the blood. They weren't always monsters. Or maybe I just didn't see it when I was younger. Dad used to take me fishing. Mom used to tuck me in at night. But over time, the kindness turned to mockery. The fishing trips became lectures. The bedtime stories became reminders that I'd never make it without them. By the time I was 17, I wasn't a child anymore. I was a punching bag with a pulse. The real shift happened a month ago. It wasn't the first hit, but it was the first time I noticed something. When Dad raised his hand, Mom didn't just stand there, she enjoyed it. And when he smashed my phone for rolling my eyes, she laughed and said, "Shoulda kept your mouth shut." That night, I looked at myself in the mirror, bruised, split lip, and I realized something important. I didn't want them to stop hitting me. I wanted them to pay for it. I started planning. First, I kept my head down. Yes, sir. No, sir. I made them believe I'd learned my lesson. But when they were asleep, I started digging. Dad was sloppy with his finances. Unpaid taxes, cash from his side jobs that never hit the books. Mom had her own secrets. A private account with money from selling Grandma's jewelry. Jewelry she told the family had been lost in a burglary. I took photos, emails, bank statements. I copied everything to a drive I kept hidden inside a hollowed-out light switch. Then I baited them. I borrowed $200 from Dad's wallet. He exploded, just like I knew he would. He hit me hard enough to knock me against the fridge. I made sure the bruise bloomed across my cheek. I made sure the neighbors saw. The next day, I went to school with a swollen face, and to the counselor's office with my drive. The police took it seriously, because I didn't just tell them about the abuse, I told them about the fraud, the theft, the missing jewelry, the under-the-table cash Dad bragged about to his drinking buddies. They didn't come right away. That was the beauty of it. I knew it would take a few weeks for them to build the case, which gave me time to set the stage. Tonight was perfect. Dinner was tense. Dad complained about money. Mom complained about me. When I talked back, Dad stood up, fist clenched. Only this time, I leaned into it. Let the punch land. Felt my jaw crack. I wanted that pain, that proof. The knock on the door came 5 minutes later. Uniforms, badges, a warrant. Dad tried to bluster, but the cops didn't care. They cuffed him for assault and tax evasion. Mom screamed at them until they showed her the photos of her at the pawn shop selling Grandma's necklace. Her face drained of color. The cuffs went on her wrists, too. I sat at the kitchen table, ice pack on my jaw, watching them get dragged out. Dad's eyes locked on mine, full of disbelief. Mom kept saying my name like it was a question she couldn't answer. They didn't understand how I'd done it. That made it even sweeter. The house is quiet now. Their trial will be in a few months. I'll testify, calmly, clearly. People ask if I feel guilty, if I wish things had gone differently. I don't. They taught me to keep my mouth shut. I learned something better, how to make sure they never open theirs again.